Hey guys, welcome back. So I know I've been away for a really long time, guys. I got really sick. I did send out a couple different posts just to let you guys know I didn't disappear. It was just sometimes those stomach flus are surprisingly bad as adults. I remember them as kids and they were gruesome, but oh my, that was really miserable. So I'm not yet like 100% back to myself, but I'm like probably 80% there. So I just wanted to pop in and say hi, let you guys know I'm so sorry I've been gone for so long. I missed our Father's Day celebration, chances to just hang out with you guys. But I've been thinking of everybody. I'm sending everybody lots of love. So good to see you all. Thank you for being so patient with me. So I want to keep this brief. I think we'll just do 10, 11 minutes. We want to do a little check-in on the topic of love. And then I'm going to go over to the other channel and I'm going to do one collective message over there as well. And then that'll probably be it for tonight, just because I'd like to come back strong tomorrow. Today's kind of the first day I've been able to eat because it was a really bad stomach bug. And so since Friday all the way on to now, I'm just now, not feverish and, putting on makeup again and standing upright again. So I just want to I want to get to bed early tonight, really, truly, so that I can come back nice and powerful tomorrow, because I can't stand being away from you guys anymore. I've missed you so, so much. All right, so let's get into this, shall we? Everybody, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let's take a quick peek and say, what do we have in the topic of love, universe? The moon. Moon is Piscean energy. It's that profound, well, in this case, she's doing this deep inner reflection. So we may have a character who is either withdrawing in their life for a moment, or they're having that moment of stillness, that solitude, that minute where they go, I just realized something. Usually the moon hides stuff, but it can also reveal, especially if we're brave enough to look, and she is, to look and see what is it that I almost feel like a truth is coming to mind for someone. Okay, a truth could definitely be coming to mind, possibly for a feminine, concerning a Two of Cups relationship. What is her consideration about that? What is it that she's recognizing? Empress in the reverse and the Ace of Swords upright. The light. Thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. You're so generous. I am feeling so much better. And thank you guys again for giving me so much grace while I've been away. Excuse me. This looks to me like if she's had a realization, it could be that maybe she's saying, I can't believe this, but I wasn't ready. Maybe I did either think I was ready for the love of my life, but maybe I'm realizing now with clarity, I wasn't. I had to do a few other things first. I had to take care of a few other things. I had to get more peaceful in myself, get more empowered in myself. An Empress in the reverse, to me anyway, can be so many different things. It can be somebody who can, of course, operate from a tyrannical point of view or something like that, or it can be someone who just doesn't feel like they are the Empress. So, we don't have that full sense of awareness of how powerful we are, how lovely we are, how talented we are. We still have to gain that self-confidence. And it just says for her, she's realizing, because I do think this is like a sense of awareness coming to we'll say feminine right now. Of course, it could be either gender, but I thought I was ready, but I wasn't. And now I know that I wasn't. That's maybe, and I think, when we realize that we weren't ready for something in the past, to me, I always think it's because now we are. If we have that level of self-reflection, it's because we can now comprehend what we didn't see before, which to me means you can only see it because you've reached that further point. Seven of Swords. Well, she's not the only one having some serious moment of reflection. Do you notice how, let's see, can I turn it so that hope and reflection are scratched inside of the coffin. And here we have a divine masculine sitting here. He's either coming out of the coffin. It's funny because here I'm using the word reflection because she sees her reflection. Well, he's been in the coffin looking at the ceiling of that little coffin and scratching that word overhead also. So he's in the same space. He's had some pretty profound either growing up or waking up to do himself. Let's stick with this deck for a second. What is it that you have recognized? Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. He wasn't too confident back then either. He wasn't in a place. This should be personal empowerment. This is somebody who's not feeling like they're there. They don't feel personal empowerment. They don't feel good enough. They don't feel like who they need to who they need to be yet. Fear instead of power. The devil versus the strength card. So he was definitely wrestling with his own demons. He might have felt like puppeted by other people, didn't feel strong enough to break away and do his own thing. Maybe he lived in a state of fear, a state of lack mentality. Hang on, let's change decks. This is great. I mean, to see these like levels of awakening for these characters. What is prompting this kind of awakening for both characters? Or maybe we should just keep using the word reflection. 5 of Cups, and 5 being a great number of change would imply that a character has, sometimes great loss is a really huge agent of change, right? When we lose something, when something shifts or, slips through our fingertips, and then we grieve it for a period of time, what replaces it sometimes is like wisdom, or maybe that's where we find, I always say if you hit rock bottom, the one benefit of that is like that's where you finally find solid ground again. So now you're on something solid. And it almost feels like if this was a tremendous loss to both of them, the loss of this relationship, and you can see that it was, right? These two, so Anita, thank you. You angel. Thank you so much, honey. So generous. You can see that we have 2 golden goblets and a champagne bottle, and that's still sitting there, right? The promise of what they could have had, this romantic, this feels like celebrating, whatever, their honeymoon, their anniversary, whatever their life together was supposed to be, that snapshot that's still obviously in the back of his mind for sure. It feels like it's been lost. And you grieve what you think is, it's too late, it's over, I didn't get it, I can't have it. And then at some point you go, wait, why? I mean, I know it was lost, but I'm still alive. So why is it impossible at this point? What would make that impossible? When we start to change our thoughts, when we grieve something we think is gone, sometimes what we get to is like, wait, what is it that I'm grieving? Sometimes that's where the new life begins, or the new possibility for something begins. It just kind of feels like when I say, why is this happening now? It's kind of, I think, because the time of the grieving of, what they assume it's too late for is kind of starting to be replaced in the back of their mind of, but why is it too late? Why is the table still set up with the champagne on it? Why is that life path not available anymore? Who says it's not available? Wait a minute. You mean it could still be available? You mean it's not gone? 9 of Swords. Again, the grieving has gone on. Is the grieving done then? Is that what we're getting at here? 5 of Pentacles. We keep getting this one sideways. All these images of grief, right? These are like our saddest cards we have in this deck, and they keep coming out. Plus we got little, 5 sandwich happening here, 2 5s and a 9 in the middle. We can see she's been in despair. He's been in despair. This has been such a tremendous loss. And I kind of think that, it sounds terrible to say they needed to go through this huge sorrow to then maybe start to see, instead of just being sad about, like, oh, the person doesn't want me, or, oh, this relationship failed. Maybe that's where they both started to say, now, wait a second. Was I really ready for that relationship? Because why did it fail? Or why did I allow it to fail? Sometimes we get to that point of asking ourselves how it could have run differently once we stop kind of having the emotional outpouring of what's been lost. And then we can see it. It's kind of like if you're really upset over something, or your friend's really upset and they're yelling and snot's running out of their nose and they're so upset, and you're not emotionally invested because you're not the one it happened to, but you listen to your friend who you love. And then you go, okay, I hear what you're saying. All of this fell apart. All of this didn't work, but I don't think it's as bad as you think it is, because, have you thought about this? What about, and sometimes you can offer your friend the solution on how what they think is the worst situation ever. You're the person who comes up with a solution for them. I kind of feel like these characters are finally being their own best friend who calms down. I don't want to call it hysteria because that sounds so insulting, but it is overwhelming to feel like you lost something that you really wanted. And obviously, these two have really wanted this. He's never stopped. He's over here in the coffin saying, oh, it's dead, it's gone. But he doesn't even believe that. That's the Seven of Swords. He's never really believed that this could be how it ends. He's never believed that. But deep down, he didn't think he was good enough to have this. So, and that's the part he didn't wrap his head around until now. She was over here saying, wait a second, I wasn't who I needed to be yet. I didn't think of myself really as an empress. Maybe she didn't believe that she was good enough to be somebody who would hold on to, a partner would stay with her. He didn't think he was good enough to have a partner stay with him. Those deep-seated, fears that we don't even know are buried somewhere in there, seems like that had to be rooted out. So I think, even though I think this is like a real love story, I don't think either one of them was ready for this yet. But it wasn't until they grieved the loss, seemingly the loss of this. I don't know how this thing fell apart. Can we get one card on that? How this thing obviously ended, and they have both been devastated over it. Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. Well, this doesn't look great because one has their back turned. The other one sits in front of, like I left. I put all my suitcases out and I walked outside the gate, but then I just plunked down. It kind of feels like both of them, I don't know if normally the feminine energy is great and queen energy would be great. But admittedly, these two queens in the arrangement that they actually came out, doesn't look like they were too big on communicating. It looks like they both were, maybe because feminine energy is the welcoming energy. Maybe they both wished the other one would reach out. That's why one of them definitely left. Whoever plays the role of the Queen of Wands left the situation, but then didn't really leave. She sat outside the gates, right? Being like, if he asked me back, I'd come back in a minute. I've been waiting for him to ask me back. The other one we could be dealing with an air sign and a fire sign. Doesn't have to be. I mean, what we've had so far on her side started with Pisces, Libra, Taurus. On his side, we had Capricorn, we had Leo, and now we're just bringing in that air energy and fire energy. But I feel like they both wanted to draw the other one in, but they weren't going to make a move. So whatever happened here, they both needed to be told, you're really important. I really love you. You're good enough. That's what I get off of this. Only because of the feminine energy here, which is the gravitational pull. But neither one of them was making the move. They wanted the other to come to them. To me, that makes perfect sense because the preceding cards that we saw, the things that they both didn't feel good enough. So how are they going to go and approach the other one when neither one felt good enough, but neither one knew that about the other? And maybe they didn't know that about themselves. So these are some pretty great breakthroughs that only came because there's been a lot of grief. And then they finally hit that rock bottom place. And then they go, wait a second. Was I good? And was I ready for this? Did I think of myself highly enough at that time? So I feel like there's a lot of positive change for both of them. It feels like they were both having some upgraded growth. They're both feeling better about who they are at this point. What does that mean for the potential of this relationship? Four of Pentacles sideways. Well, first off, they both still held on to it, haven't they? It's and the bus is still here. The bus hasn't really left, right? Because she's still sitting right there. Yes, it's in the back of their minds, but not exactly in their rearview mirror yet, because they both hold on to this. I think two people are thinking pretty heavy about this. Seven of Cups. We see our masculine standing here, and he might be looking a little bit online. We got the screen here, but this is against the backdrop of the universe, and we have all these different timelines. He's wondering, what's still possible? How could this still go? Knight of Swords. He might just have to go find out. Knight of Swords says if he takes some impulsive action, the action that I think he's thinking about, what would happen? What would happen if I did? What's that song? What if I told you? What if I said that I loved you? What would you say? What would you do? I feel like it's a It's a country song. It sounds in my head like a Vince Gill voice, but I don't know. I think it's a man, but with like a sweet voice. We have the Chariot and we have the Ace of Cups. I do think it's going to be our masculine, just based off the cards, that might make the move at this point. I mean, we see a masculine on 3 of these cards. What would happen? He's wondering, what would happen if I just went ahead and made the move? This is the impulsive action, but then this is the confident action, and then this is showing up at the door. And I mean, that could be figurative or literal, but reaching out with that true cup of love, which is like, even if you don't love me anymore, I just got to say, I really loved you. I mean, that might be just to speak his truth, that you're the one I wish I hadn't let it slip away with, like maybe he just needs to say that so that at least he'll know, as his life plays out, at least I know that I told her, you're the one I wish I hadn't let it slip away with. I kind of think that's like super on point and super brave. And we have the World, we have the Page of Pentacles. Well, she's over here thinking the exact same thing. She got a little bag packed. She got her little dog going, Mama, where are we going? It looks like you're thinking about some kind of like communication. Are you taking me somewhere? Are we going somewhere? She's got the same thoughts in her mind. What about a new beginning? I wonder how that could happen. I wonder what could be different now that I've had some breakthroughs. I wonder how this would go different if we had a conversation today. I think she's going to find out. Universe, when do these two find this out? 2 of Cups in the reverse. Universe is like, when do they want to turn this card up, right? 2 of Cups in the reverse. This is so crazy, isn't it? I take this as when they don't approach it like it's going to be paranoia and this is, scary. They really can't approach it like they did in the past. They're not the same people anymore. So it has to have some of the, how do I say this? It's like it's more romantic and less romantic all at the same time. This is the take away the haze of what it was supposed to be in the past and then how it failed and how there was all the sorrow. Like we'd be starting from scratch. We can't assume that we're going to be a 2 of Cups anymore. If these 2 talk again, I'm saying, when is this going to happen? And it says when both of them no longer imagine that it has to be perfect, but rather they could start from a brand new point. If they want to see how this could work, the first time you meet somebody randomly at the grocery store, you're not thinking, could they be my 2 of Cups? Those things kind of have to organically happen. And I think the universe is like, it'll happen when neither one of them puts the amount of tension on this that creates this fantasy expectation. And yet that opens the door for like realistic conversation, like genuine, I really cared about you. What does that mean? We've got the 8 of Pentacles sideways. It means they would actually get a chance to decide if they wanted to work on getting to know each other. Obviously, time has passed in this story. These 2 have had lives. There's all these photographs on the wall, all these paintings on the walls. These 2 would have a lot of separate lives. They would be merging at this point. So my impression is this could be a couple who has had, chapters of their lives that they lived, maybe even with other people. They went different directions in life. This could be, people who were in love in their teens, parted ways, never forgot each other, went off, married other people, now have grandkids, and this could be one of those relationships where it's like they're back together after 40 years. They would have to work to put all these different pieces together and make it all hang nice and pretty on the walls. There are multiple different family group pictures and, chapters of their lives. Do they want to merge those? This would be a different love story for these 2 if they want to do this. So there is a lot to think about. And when I say, when is this going to happen? And it's like when they can conceive of the fact that they wouldn't be going back in time and picking up where they left off, but it would be something altogether new. Now, they may not want to sign up for that. That might be like, ooh, that reality sounds not as romantic as what it was in the past. But it's like, remember, the reason it didn't work in the past is because they weren't ready to be the people that they are today. The people that they are today is probably more grown up, richer. They had to go off and have more experiences. Who they could be together and the relationship they'd have together now would be very different if they chose to do it. But I do kind of love the fact that the universe is like, remember, you're better now. You're stronger now. You have more life experience now. You know yourselves better now. You're more confident now. And you're coming in as different people. So don't expect it to be the rose colored glass thing of the past. It could be better, but not if you set yourself up for expectations that are going to be unrealistic. So it says it'll happen when the two of them are like ready to not have unattainable expectations. Did I say this would be 10 or 11 minutes? It's 20. I don't know how to do short ones, do I? All right, I'm going to end here and go over to the other channel. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Calm Sea, congratulations, honey. You're moving in 10 days. Oh, goodness, that's so much work. But I am sure it'll be wonderful. I love change. So I hope it'll be everything you dreamed of and more. Farrell Rest, great to see you. Gallet Marks, thank you, hun. I missed being here. RS, thank you again. Rachel's Magic, Eduardo Jimenez, thank you so much. I love that, Eduardo. You're so cute. Travis Rhodes, Nikki O, thank you, Farrell Rust. Dawn, I missed you too, sweetheart. Thank you. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh, Calm Sea, I can understand. Trying to escape swamp and mold? Absolutely. Then your move is going to be amazing. Hey, RS. Cecilia Therese, thank you for being here. Oh, you sweetheart. Thank you. I didn't mean to worry anybody. I tried to make sure I put some posts out so you guys knew I wasn't taken away on the mothership. Science Savant, thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Maria York, thank you. Excuse me, Maria Yoka, thank you for being here. Shout out to you in Cyprus. Ginger Montague, hi, sweetheart. Good to see you again tonight. Cherry Coleman, I'm so glad to see you also. Thank you. Wonder T, thank you so much. Sarah J, thank you, babe. Thank you guys for giving it a thumbs up. I appreciate you so much reminding me of that too. Karen Bishop, hi, honey. Hi, Miss Moody. Jenny Crum, thank you. It's time. Great to see you. Oh my God, Sandy, I feel the same way. This is the nicest community I have ever seen. I am so honored that I get to be a part of it. Mary Jones, hi, honey. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. Astrofac, hi. Kristen Alphabet, thank you, love. Yeah, I'm about 80% of who I should be. I'm still kind of like a baby, though. I get tired about every 4 hours, and I'm like, okay, still got to go lay down. Panthers 44. Hi, Janet Romo, thank you, love. Goddess of the Moon, Cassie, thank you. I'm delighted to be back. San Juanita, Angelina Davina, thank you. Just went by the way. Thank you, love. Deep Blue Night Thoughts. You know what? It wasn't just the asthma. The asthma's still kind of going on, you know. Yeah, every time, different seasons hit, and of course we're moving into fire season, and then there's volcano stuff and all that. I mean, I'm so sensitive to pollens and weather change, and I'll be good for like months, and then all of a sudden the asthma kicks in, and sometimes it'll just be like a day. And I didn't think it was going to be very bad, and it's not. The asthma's manageable right now. You'll hear me cough now and again. In fact, like on cue, right? Sorry. But it's not that bad. It was just the stomach flu that got me. So that was a whole nother And it's to have them both. Oh, it was lucky. Hi, Shell, Dwynette Raven, Wendy Parker. So wonderful to see you guys. Stephanie, Devin, thank you, love. Sunflowers, Moon Power, Miss B, Thania. Ah, thank you. Thank you. And the light, thank you again so much. You're so generous. The creative Faye. Oh, Calmsy, I'm sorry to worry you, love. SKE80, thank you. You have no idea how much I miss being here, you guys. You make my life so much brighter. You guys don't even know. Empress Energy 23, hi, love. Hi, Carol. Kivi Shah. Yes, definitely. So much better. Thank you. And the light, you were the first in the house. And Farrah Rust, you were second. And Eduardo Jimenez, you were third. Thank you, guys. All right, I'll see you over on the other channel. We'll do just a quick one there. And then I'm going to call it a night for tonight because I just really want to make sure that I don't push it for my first night back. But tomorrow I'll be back in the daytime. So, all right. Thank you, Nikki. Oh, you're so kind. Thank you for thinking of me like that. That is so kind. So wonderful. Dunny Ford, hi. Science Servant, thank you. That is so sweet. Cecilia, thank you, love. What happened, Travis? Oh, Angel, I'm so sorry, Travis. I'm sending you so much support right now. I know all the night owls are. Everybody here is. Sending you tons and tons of love. I hope that you get some good rest. I hope you take good care of yourself, and I hope you have a wonderful support network aside from just us. But, you know, of course, we're your biggest supporters. You guys, I'm sending everybody out there so much compassion, so much love, so much safety right now. All right, I'll see you guys on the other channel. Hey, good to see you, Carl. I almost missed you. And Delinda. Karen Bishop, thank you, sweetheart. All right, guys. Bye for right now.